assault lasted only minutes, but what he was effectively telling me while he held my genitals in his hand was that he held the power, that he was in control.
Oh my goodness, the tea is scalding hot in Hollywood right now, and honey, Diddy's empire is crumbling faster than a house of cards. Sean Diddy Combs is under the microscope like never before, and he's not alone. Some major players in Tinseltown are sweating bullets. With executives facing both civil and criminal charges, Diddy's fall from grace has been absolutely shocking. Each new revelation is like another nail in his golden coffin, and fans worldwide are asking themselves, how did we miss all these red flags? And let me tell you something. This whole mess takes us back to 2016 when Terry Crews first started dropping those bombshells during the Harvey Weinstein scandal. Baby, he exposed this disturbing men's club pattern in the industry, and here's the gag, he specifically pointed fingers at Diddy's alleged obsession with controlling young male talent. Now think about this for a hot minute. If someone like Terry Crews, we're talking 6'4", 240 pounds of pure NFL muscle, could become a victim, what chance did these young, innocent artists have? The tea really started spilling in 2017 when Terry hit Twitter with some posts that had everyone clutching their pearls. Right when the Me Too movement was exposing Harvey Weinstein, who, by the way, allegedly had his fingers in Diddy's party pie, Terry couldn't stay quiet anymore. In this absolutely heartbreaking series of posts, he spilled about how a powerful Hollywood executive violated him at a party. And honey, the parallels to what we're hearing now about Diddy, they'll make your head spin.
I was by Adam Bennett, who was the head of the motion picture department at William Morris Endeavor.
When Terry finally named names in that ABC News interview, the whole industry was shook. He called out Adam Bennett, and let me tell you, this wasn't just any Hollywood agent. This man's client list was longer than a CVS receipt.
You're talking about a very, very powerful man who has access to studio heads. What they do affects every part of the business, from producers, writers, actors. They own finance companies, the whole thing.
Now here comes the juicy part. Adam Bennett was reportedly a regular at Diddy's notorious parties, and the way Terry described what happened to him, Chile. It's giving very similar energy to what people have been whispering about Diddy's behavior. The most shocking part? Terry had never even met Bennett before this man had the audacity to make his move.
You know him before the party?
And I did not know him. I heard of him. We had never, ever even had a conversation. He looked me in my eyes and he was sticking his tongue out overtly to me. I mean, it was no mistake that this was a type tongue move. And I'm thinking it's a joke. I'm thinking, is this how this guy breaks the ice? I don't understand what this is.
Confused, Crews said he reached out to shake his hand.
I reached my hand out and he takes his right hand and under mine and immediately squeezes, grabs my genitals and I'm jumping like, hey, hey.
Can you believe the nerve of this man? He targeted Terry Crews, not some newcomer trying to make it in Hollywood, but an established actor. It sent shockwaves through the industry, making everyone wonder what this predator might have done to those desperate young stars looking for their big break.
And he jumps back and he still does this tongue stuff and he's making weird noises. And then he comes back again and grabs me again. And I slap his hand away, push him back more forcefully. And I'm like, what are you doing?
But wait, because this tea gets even hotter. After Terry loudly told him to back off, this man had the audacity to try it again. The sheer arrogance, thinking he was so untouchable he could do whatever he wanted. And let me tell you about the most disturbing part. This all happened right in front of Terry's wife.
She's witnessing the entire thing.
She's witnessing the whole thing. And we're just not, I can't even begin to describe to you how bizarre this is. It's so bizarre. I wake up every morning like, is this a bad dream?
Now, when some people had the nerve to question how someone Terry's size could be victimized, he laid it all out. His wife had to remind him what would happen if he fought back. One wrong move and his entire career would have been destroyed. In a heartbreaking moment of restraint, they chose silence to protect everything they'd built.
Former NFL linebacker, 6'3", 240 pounds, just muscles everywhere. How could he be
That plays into the total stereotype of black men. I felt nothing but rage, Mike. But my wife prepared me. She said, Terry, You cannot handle these kind of things with violence. You can't hit back, because if you hit people and if you do this stuff.
Let that sink in for a hot minute. If Terry Crews, with all his physical strength and established career, felt powerless, just imagine what these young, vulnerable artists faced when dealing with someone like Diddy. The power dynamics in Hollywood are so twisted, it's like a nightmare you can't wake up from.
You know how close I came to losing it all. Just when you get emasculated like that. When I tell you, the way he looked at me, the way he giggled, it was one of those things where he was like, hey man, no one's ever gonna believe you.
Back then, these powerful executives were running Hollywood like their personal playground, thinking they were untouchable. But honey, with Diddy's recent indictment, those floodgates have burst wide open. Terry Crews tried to warn us about this years ago, dropping hints about others just as powerful as Bennett, and now we're seeing it all unfold.
Well, this whole thing, from Weinstein to all what's happening in Hollywood, is about an abuse of power, an abuse of the position you have. And what happens is they have fooled everyone into thinking it was part of the job.
Terry exposed how this exploitation had become so normalized that young talents felt they had to choose between their dignity and success. When some people thought he was being dramatic, he took it straight to the Senate committee, and that's when everything started changing. His testimony became the moment people finally started taking these claims seriously.
Past year, we have seen powerful men in Hollywood and elsewhere finally held accountable for and assault. We also saw the backlash survivors faced after coming forward. I wanted these survivors to know that I believed them, I supported them, and that this happened to me too. This encouraged me to come forward with my own experience and reflect.
And now look at what's happening with Diddy. It wasn't until Cassie, his former partner, bravely stepped forward with those horrifying accusations that others found their voice too. Her courage triggered what might be the biggest scandal in entertainment history. For years, people have been putting these pieces together, and chilly, all signs pointed to these Diddy-hosted parties as ground zero for this behavior. The whispers about what went down at these parties have been circulating for years, but nobody dared speak up. The power these men held over people's careers was like a chokehold, keeping everyone in line through fear and intimidation. But now, the walls are finally crumbling.
You're a big, powerful man. Why didn't you?
Senator, as a black man in America,
Say it as it is. I think it's important.
you only have a few shots at success. You only have a few chances to make yourself a viable member of the community.
Now Hollywood's powerful elite are watching their empires fall apart brick by brick, and trust me, this is just the beginning. The floodgates are open and there's no closing them now. More victims are finding their courage to speak up every day, and the stories they're telling, child, they'll make your skin crawl. It's like Terry Crews was the canary in the coal mine, trying to warn us all about what was really happening behind those glittering Hollywood facades. And now that Diddy's empire is crumbling, people are finally connecting all those dots he laid out years ago. The truth about Hollywood's dark underbelly is finally coming to light, and it's more disturbing than anyone could have imagined. This isn't just about one or two bad apples. We're talking about a whole system of abuse and exploitation that's been protected for decades. But now, that protection is crumbling, and these powerful figures are starting to realize their time is up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned, because this tea is still brewing, and trust me, there's plenty more shocking revelations to come. The truth train has left the station, and it's not stopping for anyone. Until next time, keep your eyes peeled, because this Hollywood house of cards isn't done falling yet.